Him and Ricky are Pat brothers. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, people exist. Everyone, Oliver Young. I have to pee and I'm really upset about it. Up at the top here I just wrote water and I have no idea what that means. So, just give me a second to think of a water joke. Okay. I love water so much that sometimes I think I'd die without it. You know, people say a lot of things about adopting highways, but nothing can really prepare you for when it starts to ask about its real mom. I don't know why I did that, I just thought it was funny. For some reason, whenever I hear about any kind of vandalism, like graffiti or robbery, my brain automatically assumes that whoever did it was 8 years old. And I have no idea why, but like, when I hear about any crimes, I think, that little guy is probably grounded now. My mom used to tell me I was a handsome devil. And it's like, yeah, being lord of the underworld is great, but I'm also handsome? It's too much. If dogs really are man's best friend, then how come when I asked my golden retriever if he'd drive me to the airport, he said he would probably be busy that day? It doesn't seem like much of a friend to me. I can do some impressions. Here's one now. It's of Waldo from Where's Waldo? Man, this beach is crowded. This is just a word of advice. Don't ever go fishing in Sweden, because all you're going to get is gummy candy. I want to go to a wine tasting and arbitrarily describe everything there as punk rock. Like I sit down and someone says to me, ooh, this wine is sort of oaky with some sweet undertones. And I say, yeah, it's really punk rock. I love that the word for baby goat is kid, but I really wish it was reversed. Because I want to see, like, an old man in a bowling alley, see some, like, teenagers running all over the lanes and yelling, and for him to turn to his wife and say, baby goats these days have no respect. When a horse is about to go to bed and he says, I'm going to hit the hay, he means it. Here's an impression of a caveman doing stand-up. So we invented fire the other day. Did you guys hear about this? Apparently it's very hot right now. It's the worst joke. Here's something funny. If I was pregnant and I wanted to like announce it to people, I would go out and buy some grapes and I would make a Vine video of the words, I'm pregnant, spelled out with grapes, and then like send it out to people. And later on, two of my friends would be talking, and one would say, how did you hear Oliver was pregnant? And the other would say, I heard it through the grapevine. Here's something you don't hear every day. Zimbap! Thank you. This is another impression. It's of a 5-year-old whose birthday was yesterday. I'm 5.5. Sometimes I like to imagine an astronaut who spent his whole life with this sole crazy goal of one day going to the moon. I mean, that's not crazy, but it's something he's always really wanted. And like, that's why he joined NASA and became a really respected member of his team. And like, that day finally comes when he's taking his first steps onto the moon. And he looks around and he says, "This isn't cheese." It's not. It's just the moon. Here's another. No, wait, no. Never mind. There's certain traits in people that I just can't stand at all. Like, apathy is just. When I'm in awkward situations, I'll sometimes try to tell a joke to sort of ease the situation or make it more comfortable, and sometimes it really backfires. Like one time, I was in a Starbucks, and I walked up to my friend, because I thought it was my friend. I walked up to her to say hi, and she turned around, and it was a complete stranger. So to sort of like feel better about the situation, I was like, "My grandpa died of natural causes. A tsunami." It didn't work. My dog talks to me sometimes and no one ever believes me about it, but he really does. And the other day he said something that really stuck in my head and I can't stop thinking about it. He looked at me and he said, "Woof! Woof! Woof!" It was like a 5-second delay of that loud. I thought it was funny. I wouldn't blame you. When I'm on an airplane, I'll sometimes come up with these like crazy situations to try to ease the anxiety of flying. And one that I always go back to is like, what if halfway through the plane flight, I walked up to the cockpit and I opened the doors and there was just a Pomeranian piloting the plane. Because I feel like at first I'd be really freaked out and then I'd become okay with it. Because like, if we made it that far, it's probably good. They wouldn't let any old dog fly on a plane. I want to change my name to Dragon, but I want to change my first name and my last name to Dragon. So like when I check into a hotel, they say, "Here's your key, Mr. Dragon." And I say, "No, no, please. Call me Dragon." This story isn't true at all, but I'm going to tell it anyways, because I think it's funny. I got a bike, and I wanted to make it look cool, so I like got some bells for it, and I put cool stickers all over it. And that same exact day, it broke down, so I took it into the bike shop. And I wanted to tell the guy what was wrong with my bike, but I also didn't want to downplay all the cool stuff I had done to it. So it was like, "My bike is off the chain!" One last thing, there could be chameleons all over you right now, and you'd have no idea.